Alrighty, g'day everybody, it's the dog. It's time for the second part of my AC/DC CD collection. This one focuses mostly, or entirely I should say, on some slightly older and rarer AC/DC CDs. Starting somewhat chronologically, we'll start with this TNT CD, dated to 1989. Recognised by the infamous back cover, which of course has the misprinted rockin' singer instead of rock and roll singer. This particular version is usually identified by the reverb featured in the intro to It's a Long Way to the Top, but I've also noticed it in some other songs like Livewire, especially during the quieter parts of that, like the intro and stuff. This particular version I obtained mostly because it's one of the few CDs to feature the full version of High Voltage, because I'm not one for downloading from iTunes. Don't really do that. And besides, the mastering on those iTunes releases isn't that good, in my opinion. Okay, now we have what I think is a European If You Want Blood CD. I'm not actually certain what version this is. I haven't not really a Discogs kind of guy anymore. I stopped going there in late 2019 after some heated arguments that eventually got me blocked from the database, but really, the disc itself is just at Atlantic, so I wouldn't have a clue if this is a remaster. It doesn't actually say, does it? Okay, it does actually say, yeah, it says Marino, yeah. The late George Marino did remaster this. If anybody else has this particular CD, let me know in the comments what version this is. I also have another If You Want Blood that's identical to the Australian 1995 remasters, because it has a similar back cover, but it has a different album code. I think it's got something like 7423494666920. Printed here. Again, you probably won't be able to see it properly, and the disc itself is pretty much identical to the Australian 1995 disc, but as it says made in Europe, probably for the UK. I'm not so sure, to be honest. I think I've seen an identical one to that, being For Those About to Rock instead. I think I did see that back when I used to go to Discogs, but doesn't really matter. Okay, this is the last of the Australian CD releases. This is a 2002 reissue of Highway to Hell, as identified on the back with the Festival Mushroom Distribution logo on the bottom left-hand corner there. And a different album code, 335442. And the disc itself isn't see-through like the EMI 4770 CDs are. I think these were probably only on the shelves for probably a year before they were replaced with the 2003 remasters. I don't know why these didn't stick around for longer. Okay, we have at least 3 different versions of Back in Black now. This one, I believe, is German manufactured. And I probably haven't played it, but this is not the infamous Barry Diamond mastering that is extremely popular and is usually considered the holy grail of the Back in Black CDs. This mastering, apparently they've said that the best way to identify the Barry Diamond mastering via Steve Hoffman Music Forums is like a screw up or something at the beginning of Giving the Dog a Bone. Again, this version is probably not. I'm just going to say, for the record, it's not the Barry Diamond mastering of that album. Okay, this next Back in Black CD, from what I can tell, based on the back here, it says, don't know if you can read it, but I'll say it anyway, it's potentially manufactured in Indonesia. So this is a bit of an oddity, this one. taking a look at the disc inside, it doesn't say anything about it being manufactured anywhere else, but this version I've not seen anywhere online anywhere either. It doesn't say if it's remastered either, so... Okay, it does. It's the Ted Jensen remaster from the 90s. It's just that little sticker on the back mentions Indonesia, so... Very rare, that one. I've not seen that particular version show up. Not even on eBay, when I occasionally visit eBay to do a bit of price comparison. But for the record, I do not buy from eBay. I'd rather go to a store and have a look through a store, which is very difficult to do, especially with the damn COVID-19 and nonsense getting around. Anyway, this is the 2002 Australian remaster of Back in Black, again identified by the festival mushroom and the different catalogue number, and the disc itself is identical as you can get to the 1995 disc, but again, apart from the AC/DC logo, it's not see-through. And those are the only two from that particular set of CDs that I own. And the same also applies to the 1989 discs, as identified by here with this 1989 CD releases For Those About to Rock, with the wrong track listing on the back, of course. Now, it wasn't really corrected on any of the early CDs. This particular version also has a mastering screw-up where, towards the end of the song, there seems to be an output issue where it seems to switch from one channel to the other, and then it corrects itself after about 5 seconds. I think it's during the final part of the song, during the "For Those You Give, For Those Who Take" line, I think. I have played this at least 2 or 3 times, and I never really knew about that mastering issue again until I found out about it via the Steve Hoffman Music Forums. Very good website. If you're not actually a member, you should try and check it out. Anyway, what we have here is the original 1990 CD release of The Razor's Edge. As identified, we've got the CBS logo in the bottom left-hand corner. And of course the original disc. Oops. There we go. Probably one of very few collectors that own all 3 original format releases of The Razor's Edge in Australia. The cassette and the vinyl you can also see elsewhere on the channel. There is a playlist on my channel that shows off all of my AC/DC collection, and this will be the closing video for it, unless I make any future updates. Don't know when that'll happen, or if that'll happen. Okay, this is a probably 1994 reissue of AC/DC Live. Or it probably might be from 95 as well, but it is not remastered and has a different album code as opposed to the original release. This single disc version doesn't seem to turn up very often, so I thought I'd show this off as well. I only bought this because of this particular disc. Also, I didn't show them off last video, but I do also have the Bonfire albums. I think these are from the late 2000s reissues. We've got Life in the Atlantic Studios, of course, the different back cover, front cover. Disc itself is identical. Okay. I do have the double disc version of the Let There Be Rock movie soundtrack. In fact, I've actually got both versions here. I actually might pull out the original single disc version that was released here, which has the majority of the album. Yeah, the original Australian CD release had the majority of the concert, but with 2 tracks not included. Instead, they were moved to the Vault disc for some reason. And we've also got the more recent reissue, which actually does have both the discs. We've got part 1 and part 2 here. That's normally the version I listen to. So we've got the entire gig on 2 CDs instead of a cut down version on just 1 disc, which I just thought was a bit odd. And we've also got the Vaults CD as well, which is a little bit disappointing, but this version, as I said, has the 2 extra tracks that were from the movie Let There Be Rock as well. I haven't played this particular one in a while. Pretty good songs, the early versions of some of the songs from Highway to Hell and stuff. Could have been better though. Just like to know why they included songs that had already been released, such as Ride On and the longer version of It's a Long Way to the Top that was not released internationally originally. And we have the original 2000 CD release of Stiff Upper Lip. Here we previously showed off the 2 CD Australian Tour Edition. This version is just 1 CD. As shown here. Just the 1 CD, unfortunately. Again, it doesn't turn up very much, or very often. Okay, now we get on to the slightly rarer stuff. Way back in probably 96, 97, EMI decided to release a double CD box set compiling both Power Age and For Those About to Rock in a double CD box. And according to what I've read, this was not available, not available in stores for very long. It was apparently withdrawn rather quickly, and I've only seen 2 copies of this in my life. I did see one a few years ago, but it was just the box only. The discs were missing for some reason. So when I saw this other copy earlier this year, I think, and when I found out it did have all the discs and stuff, the infamous gold CDs, we've got Power Age on the left here, and the original booklet that came with the remaster from 95. And the one for Those About to Rock as well. Both of them used the 1995 remaster sounds. And from what I can tell, I'm not seeing very many collectors actually having this particular box, so I might be one of the very few that do. Or at least that have shown it off here on YouTube. Okay, now we move on to a couple of CD singles. I don't have very many, just 3. This is the European CD single version of Big Gun. I've tried to find the Australian one with a different sleeve and a slightly different track listing, but have not been able to locate it as of late. I'm sure it wasn't on sale for very long. I think the mastering on this track, on this CD, is a little better than the Backtrack's mastering, to be honest. Again, I did previously show off the cast single, the Australian cast single of Big Gun in my AC/DC cassette collection video. Again, be sure to check that out. We have Hail Caesar, the second single off the Ballbreaker album released out here. Again, you got the spine here and stuff. And the disc itself is pretty unique, and so is the inside. Excellent. And the only other CD single I have, this was originally available with the release of the No Ball VHS back in late 1996 or so. Unfortunately, when my dad first got this, he never actually got the bonus CD single because we didn't get a CD player for at least another 4 years or so. I think I ended up obtaining this more or less by accident when I bought a copy of the 1996 Ballbreaker Australian Tour box, which unfortunately was missing the CD, the videotape, and the belt buckle. It only had the poster and the booklet inside, as well as this here CD single, which is a shame though. Just recently I found a complete copy of the box at one of my local stores, but I decided against buying it, and personally I don't have any intention of getting it because it's not really worth it unless you just wanted the alternate artwork for the Ball Breaker CD, but still. Alright, the last two CDs I have to show you are from very first Australian CD pressings. First one here is the original 1987 Australian CD release of High Voltage. Unfortunately, the original artwork, both the front and back cover, were not included, but many years ago I did make a print of, well, it's not the actual one, but it's a reprint of the actual back cover. It's not the actual one that would have come with it. This particular CDs are perhaps best known for their reasonably well-renowned sound quality for the time. Only side effect is the partly cut off Baby Please Don't Go at the beginning of the disc, and the slightly messy sound quality between some songs as well, but otherwise it's very good. And the last CD is also from the same set. This is the If You Want Blood, You've Got It original Australian CD. Perhaps best known for its typo on the back cover that was actually corrected with the CBS reissues from a couple of years later. As you can see, it doesn't say Whole Lot of Rosie, it says Whole Lot of Rose. Like, really? But, of course, it is spelled correctly on the disc. Again, it's a little hard to tell in this light. And the mistake is still there. Maybe a slightly cut at the end of Problem Child with some of the crowd being cut off. Otherwise, that is it. That is all of my AC/DC collection spread over several videos. Be sure to check out the rest of them. There is a playlist on the channel. You can just visit it and you can find the playlist available. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to press the like button. Unless you're not an AC/DC fan, then, well, you can just go away then. And please make sure to subscribe to the channel for more content. Possibly might be some more showcase videos coming up, as well as the usual gaming videos for those that only watch that. Or if you watch everything, thank you very much for doing so. In the meantime, this is the Dogger saying have a wonderful day, and we shall see you again.